If you were to visit one of the hundreds of historical sites in the United Kingdom, you may, if you were to look closely, see on wooden timbers and doors faint scratches and marks. Some of these will be mason marks used in the construction of the building. Others will be graffiti. But, up and down the country, the same designs are seen time and again. These are the witch marks, symbols that have come from antiquity and have been used for centuries to protect the dwellers inside from evil. A prime example of the marks can be found in Little Morton Hall in Cheshire. This beautiful manor house has survived pretty much untouched for hundreds of years. It dates back to the times of the Tudor kings and queens. All told, the house has some 250 witch marks scattered over its 3 floors, ranging from simple taper burn looking marks to more intricate daisy wheels and hexafoils. Often placed at points of entry or potential points of weakness in the building, such as windows, chimneys, and of course doorways. They were placed to add a level of spiritual protection to complement the physical protection that the walls already provided. The marks in the video are from Little Morton Hall and are quite difficult to see with the naked eye. These dated back to when the house was built hundreds of years ago and were quite common for buildings at the time. The witch marks can be found on any building, from humble cottages to great lordly manors, from simple barns to the grandest of churches. You can also find ritual protection marks on furniture, on gravestones, on travelling chests, and anything in between. They have also been found scratched into the entryway of caves, placed there to protect the families who may have harboured inside. Some of these symbols have been traced back to antiquity, having been used in the country for thousands of years. However, these ancient symbols were still in use up until the 19th century. They even had a resurgence of popularity in and around the Tudor times. Despite the country being very heavily Christianized, the people still had their superstitions to cling to. When King Henry VIII instituted the English Reformation and the dissolution of the monasteries, a lot of the peasant folk fell back onto these familiar and comforting rituals. But how do they function? It is hard to say what they may or may not have originally meant. In the United Kingdom, one of the most popular marks is the hexafoil, or the daisy wheel. This can be found the length and breadth of the aisle, with the earliest examples going back to some 3000 BC. With such an age behind them, it is theorised that they reflect something known even to those ancient times, perhaps representing the sun as a ward against the terrors that lie in the darkness. Later explanations include them being a kind of demon jail, the idea being that if a demon or evil spirit were to see them, it would follow the lines, and as they are fully connected and circular, the demon would trace them forever and be lost. The taper burn marks seen in this video at first seem to be just burn marks from candles. Indeed, that is what they originally identified as. However, burn marks were found in places where no candles could have been, such as behind floorboards and wallboards. It is believed they are actually a good luck charm to ward off fire and lightning. The cross-hatches, very barely seen in this video, are believed to be intertwined letter V's. This is thought to stand for Virgo Virginium, which means Virgin of Virgins, and is thought to attempt to invoke the Holy Mother herself as a form of protection. While these symbols may be the most common in the United Kingdom, this form of apotropaic magic is widespread throughout the world. The symbols may vary and the reasoning behind them may differ, but there is not a single civilization on Earth that does not have protection symbols. This is folklore passed down from generation to generation, from mothers to daughters. Whether or not it is effective, we cannot say, but it forms part of our history and our story.